Okay, people, we are going to be breaking down our Forex watch list. So, without wasting much of our time, let's get started. So, this are our watch list. These are the pairs on our watch list. We have gold, CAD Euro, USD, USDCAD, and NZDUSD. These are the Forex pairs we will be breaking down in this video for you guys. All right, so we can know the market direction for next week. So, first off on our list, we have the gold, right? So, for those of you that followed the last breakdown we did 2 weeks ago, I think we have the target for gold to come and interact with this guy, because like those of you in the community, you know that uh, that is a liquidity level, and we are anticipating gold to come and interact with it. But still, gold is yet to give an interaction, so it is still going to be a highlighted important level for me. And then also the lowest low of this initial push before we start the rally to the downside, and then the highest point will be that level over there. So these are the important levels, or the important levels on the daily I'll be focusing on. So let's go to the 4 hour, and then we look at the current pattern and then the current structure based on the current trend that we are having. So this is the 4 hour on gold. Okay, now when you're on the 4 hour, or when you look at the chart, your focal point is supposed to be what? The current pattern, the current structure, the current price structure, the current market structure. That is what we're supposed to be looking at. So if we look at this clearly, we know that gold is in a downtrend. Gold is actually selling, and yeah, selling is not really a surprise thing, because we have known that gold is supposed to interact with this guy for over 2 weeks now. We have been waiting, or we have been trading along gold for it to get to that level. Okay, so if we look at this thing very well, I'm sure we can clearly spot out the swing points. Okay, so we had the drop from that level down here. We had this one down, we have this, then we have this guy. So you can see all of this was, they didn't really break below this. It's just this one is inside, this one just give a little sweep, and then after that we have this push. So this was the last low that broke below the previous low significantly. These were sweeps. Okay, and this was just a pullback before this. So this was the last low that broke significantly under this low, significantly below this low. So after that we have the current price action. Okay, so for us now to spot out our, or just to simply mark out our highest and lowest low, we have this low and then we have this low. For the highest we have this high, and we have this high because yeah, we need the trend line to support it. So this is actually going to support our trend line. But as time goes on, when we keep breaking down, we will know, we will get to understand if what this guy is going to support, or is going to this trend lines we are going to put here, if it's going to really going to be what the price will be facing or wanting to catch. Okay, so from there we can connect this trend line 1 2, right? Let's make it a little bit bold. We can connect the trend line 1 2, and then from the resistive side we can connect 1 and 2. So we can see clearly that the bullish run on gold, or even from the impact of the news that we had yesterday on Friday, which was NFP, we can see that it is not really a strange thing, because we see gold rejected from the second touch of the trend line, supportive trend line, and we are chasing the third touch of the resistive trend line. So this is what we have on the 4 hour, right? We are having that bearish movement on the 4 hour. So let's go to the 1 hour, and then we can look inside of the bearish run, and then we can also find a way, or find supportive confluences to our reason that the price have to come and interact with this third touch before we look for the drop. Now those of you in the community, I'm sure you already know that yeah, coming above is what is supposed to happen, because we still have liquidity seated here, and then we still have point of interest and stuff around that level. So if you want to join the community, please look in the link in the description and come for proper mentorship. All right, so let's go to the 1 hour, which is going to be our final time frame, because what we are looking is directional biases. We're not looking for entries or teaching entries, we're just looking for directional biases, and then so that sharing it with you guys, so that you can also see for next week where we will be putting our focal points based on these pairs on our watch list. All right, now we are now inside the structure we got from the 4 hour, and the focal point now is the current structure of that market, current structure of the structure or the current structure inside the structure we had from the 4 hour. So from the current structure here, the next thing you do is what? Mark out the swing points. What is happening? What is actually happening? The relevant swing point. What are they doing? Are they descending or are they ascending? So um, so looking at this structure, clearly we can see that the swing points are actually in an expanding wave. For the current structure we have, it is in an expanding wave. Now let me mark them out for you guys to see. This is one, and then this is another one. You can see it is expanding to the downside, and then this is one, and then this is another one. This one and this one are on the same level, and we are going to talk about that soon. So based on the current structure we are having an expanding structure. Based on the current swing points, it is producing an expanding kind of market structure for us. This is what the current swing is producing, and the current swing was sponsored by this impulse. This is an impulse, but it exhausted, and then this impulse also exhausted, but it started creating after exhausting. This was the first swing point of this expanding structure we are having now, and this is another confluence that yes, we need to reach our target from the 4 hour, which is coming to interact with the third touch of the trend line before we get further moves. After this rejection from this, that was what happened. That was what sponsored the bullish run yesterday, and also the news elevated it to the target, which is supposed to be this guy, right? Now, for those of you in the community, I always talk about equals, liquidity at equals. You can see that this previous swing point and this swing point, they are actually on the same level, on the same price tag. So it is impossible for that to happen. It is not ideal for that to happen in the market. Whenever prices are on the same price tag, expect the market to always come against that particular thing. So it is also a confluence for us. For those of you that understand liquidity, it's also a confluence for us that yeah, the market still have to rally to the upside to give us a third touch here on the trend line, and also the third touch on the resistive trend line from the 4 hour. So this is the focal point on gold. This is what I'm looking at on gold. This guy is having this little drop down now. Gold is having this little push to the downside, but I feel or I see it based on what price is given, or based on what based on the informations I've just read to you guys. Price is just giving us a little bit of relaxation after this bull volatile. Price is just giving us a little bit of relax, and then it will still continue the rally to the upside any which ways it does it. I don't know if it might just happen, just give us a reversal. It might just give us a little bit of running channel that will sponsor that move to the upside. But this is my focal point. I want price to come and give me the third touch here. If I see a lot of confluences for my entry time frame, that I can join the buy to take it to the point of interest, I will. If I don't see, I wait. When it gets to that level, I can look for the short. But from the daily and also for the 4 hour and what we just see on the 1 hour, we're looking for gold to give us that bullish run, and then finally give us the bearish run to this daily target we have. Remember, trading with a trend is what we focus to do, and then the trend depends on the time frame. Every time frame has its own trend. So that's all for gold. Let's look at the next pair. So people, next on our list we have CADCHF, and this is the daily time frame. So on the daily we can see we are still having this type of expanding structure like we had on gold 1 hour, all right, but this is looking more of a bearish bias. Now first thing you need to do is the important levels, right? The highest level, the lowest level, and then the swing point, all right? It is also from the swing point you know which one is higher, which one is lower. So for USD CAD, I want to focus on the current price movement, which is this impulse, then this and this, and where we are currently to the downside. Okay, so based on what we are having, we can see that the swing point is this low and this low, and then we had this high, which after this high, this is the higher low, all right, and then instead of creating another this is a lower high, lower than the previous high. Instead of creating another lower high, price created what? An equal high. Okay, so when we use our anticipation line or the real line, we'll get to see if if a liquidity was taken or liquidity was actually created. So if we use the real line from here, you can see that price wicked out of this, meaning mass psychology has been taken. The mass psychology thing has played out based on Falcon trading strategy. The mass psychology thing has happened here. So our next important level now will be on the takeout, the week of the mass psychology. Okay, so this is going to be the our highest level, and then this now is going to be our lowest level. Why? Because even the literal knowledge about trend, you know that when we are creating the highs, lower lows, and lower highs and stuff, we need to keep creating them unless the market gives a significant break of the previous swing. Now this was the previous swing. Okay, this was the previous lower high we had, but the market didn't give a significant break. Instead it replaced it. Replacing it, it means the market only swept it and became, this level now becomes the lower high instead of this guy. But if it broke significantly above it, then it actually changed the trend. But it didn't change the trend, it became the lower high. So this is now going to be our lower high, and then this is going to be the originating high that created this lower high. Okay, so this is now the lower high, and this is what we have on this time frame. Now and we have already gotten the direction that we have to be falling, right? That is what this has said to us, because we have a low and then we have a lower low here, right? So since we have a high and then we have a higher low, we should be what? That we should be targeting to create a what? Another lower low, because it is in a downtrend. So our target point is to come down. And since we know that we cannot tell if the market, when the market comes to an equilibrium or a previous swing, we can't tell if it's going to break it or not. The target is going to be that particular level, because it can come and sweep just like it did to this guy. So now the next thing we do is to go to the 4-hour to see if we can get price structures from this. Actually, there's a price structure that is being created, or that have been created here, but already the price structure have been exhausted. Its work is done, because price significantly broke below it. You can see the bearish run to the downside from there. So its work is done. So I don't like to complicate the chart, so there's no need for that. Let's go to the 4-hour, and then we will get to see what price is doing and what is the confluence we are getting to come to our target level. So we can see after the mass psychology was taken, we can see we had this larger structure that would have given us a good entry before using the Falcon entry, and then after that we have this bearish run again, which was like impulse correction and then an impulse. So currently we can see that the market just finished the impulse. It is trying to create a corrective phase. It's trying to create a corrective phase. So whenever I have this kind of corrective phase, the last candle here, I just put the week, just put the anticipation line, because right now the market have not, on this time frame, it has not given us a particular structure to map out the trend line, or giving us a particular swings to put a trend line yet. For some people they do the whole channel, they can put a trend line here, but I don't do that, because we need to focus on the current structure, and the current structure gives us an impulse. The impulse is exhausted, but the structure is not created yet. So let's go to the 1 hour. If the structure makes sense on the 1 hour, we can put our trend line. If it doesn't, then we can wait. So 1 hour. So this is the 1 hour CAD CHF, and you can see on the 1 hour, yes, the price structure is now making a little bit, it's now making sense, not just a little, it's now making sense. And I believe if you were trading this guy last week, and let's say Thursday, Friday, and you had around here, you met it here, you would have gotten into a good buy, because we have this 1, 2, and then the third touch there, right? The current structure, the last rejection is a third touch, and then from the resistive ends we have this 1 and 2, right? So we now have an anticipation that we have this impulse, we're now having this expanding structure. The more it expands, the more the momentum to that level reduces. So we're anticipating this guy to either come and sweep this guy and drop, or find its way to the third touch of this trend line before dropping. But we know from the daily that our target, or our trend for CAD CHF, and then the target point is here. The trend is to sell, and the target point is here. So that is what we have for CAD CHF. Let's look at the next pair. Alright people, this is EURUSD, and this is the daily time frame. Okay, so like I always tell you, current structure, that is what I care about. Current structure is what I care about. So for this directional bias, we are going to be looking at this as our low, and then we're going to be looking at this guy as our highest level from this time frame. All right, so whatever happening here, you can see that It's looking like a structure, but we cannot analyze, we cannot put it on this time frame because it's actually just candles. It is not giving us a good swing. It's not giving us good swing movement for us to put our pattern there. So we have this impulse, we have this little correction, and now the market is trying to give us that push. So let's go to the 4 hour to see if this bit of information is more visible around that or on that time frame. So this is the 4 hour. Okay, this is the 4 hour, and then we can see now the price is open, and based on what I see, I'm supposed to have an anticipation line to this swing point, because when the market gets to this swing point is when the structure is, thank you Samantha, it's where the structure is supposed to make sense from what I see. Now why did I say that? It's because of the fact that we had this push, right, and then we had this correction. If you go to a lower time frame like the 1 hour, you can see that this is actually making sense as a pattern, right? So we have this, and then the correction sponsored the second phase. This is the first phase, second phase, and then the third phase, right? It sponsored the impulse after the correction. But what did the market do? It came back again to take the whole of the previous correction, making it a Falcon flag. If you know the Falcon flag, this is how it's been formed. When we have an impulse, we have a little flag, and then it gives the push. After that, it comes back right to take the whole of the flag and stuff. So this is a Falcon flag that is being created on the 4 hour of Euro USD. So because this is the beginning of the flag, this is the swing point that started the flag, right? This swing point, and this was the supportive ends of the swing point. Though we have little structures in between, but until the market comes back to interact with the swing of that Falcon flag, there's not much of a thing to be done. There's not much of trend line work to be done. Okay, now if I am to look into the Falcon flag itself very well, this swing point was swept. Price only came, the mass psychology thing, price only came below, swept it and closed inside. That's why we had this push, and this push is helping us to get to this level. Okay, so let's go to the 1 hour to see if actually we can get something out of it. So when the market gets to this level, that's when we will know what exactly is going to happen. Though from the daily we are targeting the market to come here, and we are anticipating maybe if the market comes here, it will break and then give us a push to this level, or if it comes here, it can give us a sweep and then reject to the downside. Those are the forecasts. But let's go to the 1 hour to see the final thing on that time frame. It's not much. There's not much information on the 1 hour. It is still the impulse. It is still the impulsive wave. So what we are anticipating after an impulse, we know we anticipate a correction. So now we have this impulse. We can get a correction. Please don't mind my drawing, bro. I was not good at fine art. And then we have this guy to this level. So we can get to execute either at a break, reduce risk, or execute here as a risk entry if you have a good confidence and then it aligns with your risk management. Or it can decide to push down, give us a running channel and still buy. But whatever Euro USD will do, pay attention to it. Make sure you have the confidence in your favor or in respecting your rules before you execute a trade. That's it for Euro USD. Let's hop on the next pair. Okay, people, this is USDCAD and this is the daily time frame. All right. So USDCAD current structure, we can see we are actually creating low, lower low, high, higher low. We're in a downtrend in it. So we just rejected from the low, meaning we are anticipating the market to create another lower high. All right, these terms are sometimes battling when you pronounce them all the time. So we are anticipating to create a lower high before we continue the drop. Okay, so my lowest level is going to be this guy because we have had a significant push from it, and then the highest level is going to be this guy because even if the market we are looking for it to create a lower high that's supposed to be lower than this guy, it can come to interact with it. It's possible. That is how the market is. So this is the structure we are having here. Now let's go to the 4 hour because I think it's self-explanatory unless you want to use the supportive ends first while you're anticipating the resistive ends. You can also go this way. All right. So let's go to the 4 hour to see more details that is in here to give us more confidences if we are really going to give if price is really looking to go to give us the lower high or not. So this is the 4 hour This is the 4 hour, right? You can see the coin bit of price actually giving us higher highs, meaning it is actually chasing the lower high we are looking from the daily, or it is actually chasing to come to this level. Now, this is one interesting thing I saw here that is giving me the 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 confidence that USD CAD will give us the lower high before dropping. Now we have this bit of price, we have this price channel, all right? We have this price channel here. So price broke out of the channel, give us the flag, and now it is going. It now gave us the flag and broke the flag, so it has become a bullish trend. It's now having the pullback, anticipating another rally to the upside, and then from this guy we are anticipating the 90% rule to be met. So when the 90% rule is met, it's actually going to rhyme with a lower high, for this high. All right, so what we're anticipating on USD CAD right now, trading based on the coin structure, we are looking for USD CAD after giving this bearish run like this. Where is the two? After giving this bearish run, we're looking for USD CAD to give some kind of running channel like this, and then give us a push to the upside to create another high higher than this high and this high. So to give us, like, to continue this uptrend here, to continue the current uptrend. So we're looking for this guy to give us a reason to reverse to the upside, or if he likes, he can give us a reason to continue falling. But you always make sure that your what the market is saying aligns with your reasons for execution before entry, and don't forget your risk management. All right, so this is what I see on USD CAD. This is the 4 hour. I won't go further because it's clear enough on the 4 hour. Let's go on the last pair for the week. So this is NZDUSD, and this is the 1 hour time frame. As you all know, that we just repeat the same stuff. So this is the lowest low, and then we are looking at this guy to be the highest high. So whatever happens here, it should be our focal point. The coin structure has the highest probability of playing out. So let's go to the 4 hour to see what price is doing at the current level. So from the coin level, we can see we are actually in a bullish, having a bullish run. This is a high, higher high. This is a low, higher low. Okay, so the price is here, and since we have this higher high, our first focus is that the price will come and interact with the higher high. All right. So if you are looking at NZDUSD, and you can get confidence for you to get a buy to this level and hopefully to the daily target, it makes a lot of sense. Okay. So for the forecast, since the first target is here, this is the 4 hours. So if you go down your time frames, you can see that it's a lot of movement from here to here if you are trading on the lower time frame like I do. So we have this bullish rally. I'm sure we are anticipating something like a little bit of correction before we hit this level. And when we hit this level, if price sweeps, going above and coming to close below, we should be looking for sales, because it will now make a good sense about the M's and W push, the M, and then the second leg. But if price break above, then we should be anticipating the touch here or on this particular swing point. You can see clearly that the price pattern is not really visible yet, not really created based on the structures we have been given from these resistive ends. Though from the supportive end is being created 1 2, but here there's no price pattern created yet. So until the market interacts with this guy, then we will get to know if we are to plot the trend line on the structure or not. So these are the pairs we'll be looking at in my community for this week, and then these are the forecasts we'll be looking at. These are the directions we'll be looking to take them. But the market is always dynamic, and it is what it opens and display that we finally work with. So if you're looking to join my premium community, if you want proper mentorship to know how we break down the chart, to understand liquidity, and to also learn how to execute your trade, to learn proper entries, please look in the link in the description and come for proper mentorship. Please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, share your comments, give us your own suggestions in the comment section, and thanks for watching.